Hello and welcome to Scientifically Speaking. Today we have more confirmation of double helix energy theory, and I'm going to have to go through several of my videos explaining the Ouroboros field, Supernova 1987A, energy is moved to the boundary, and atom cloaking to explain exactly the bubble origin for stars around the sun. Let's have a listen to what suspicious observers have to say about this story. I read it this morning, and SO's got it on his channel. So we're going to go through, and we're going to go through everything I've said and everything that I've shown on video to prove what I'm about to say.
Now, folks, the big story in astronomy today is about the 1,000 light-year wide bubble, the local bubble in space, the one surrounding the solar system. Turns out, all nearby baby stars are forming on the bubble.
Did you hear that? All nearby baby stars are forming on the bubble.
As the shock wave interacts with space and compresses the material into stars through plasma pressure, plasma turbulence, and interacting magnetic fields. But wait, they want to tell us this.
Now, this part of it isn't really, this is where mainstream science decides to just go nuts and say a ridiculous reason for what's happening here. So that was the main part. We'll have a quick listen to this extra little bit, but my main point of this video is that the stars are formed on the skin of the bubble.
This is a random bit of luck. They think the sun just happened to travel and meet this bubble and is now, by some random chance of luck, sitting right smack in the middle of it.
Which, of course, is ridiculous, eh? We have a reoccurring micronova sun, which is going to go off in the next, probably by 2037 or just around that time. And it's going to go off. It might not. I might be wrong on that, but, you know, that's the way it goes. So they will say anything to stop people from realizing that billions of people are going to die when this micronova goes off. All right.
Okay, even the authors remark about the remote chances of such a thing.
Which is good.
And it's because that idea is 100% wrong. That is not what happens in a galaxy, and the sun is not a hypervelocity star. This bubble is the shell of past solar micronova events, time after time pushing outward, and we are not seeing a random bit of luck with the sun in there only for the moment. They're going together. As with so many ancient nova events, with the star still firmly centered within the remnant and planetary nebula, that's what we're seeing here. Not a random bit of luck. We greatly appreciate.
Okay, so we're going to start off with energy is moved to the boundary. Then we're going to look at Supernova 1987A on my videos. And then we're going to look at my video about atom cloaking. And you will hopefully understand the principles involved as to why stars are on the outside of the bubble, or stars are forming on the skin of the bubble. So here we are at water waves and particles, boundary and vortices. And in my description there it says how energy is funneled to the boundary and energy moves perpendicular to the original flow, causing vortices. So I'm going to just go through this and we'll see what I say.
And it's going over this rock. And if we kind of look to the side, you will see at the front of the rock there that the wave breaks up into particles. Reason is because there's a change in depth, which means there's a change in electrical voltage, energy, and then it drops off. So you're looking at different depths of EM field voltage. So basically, as it meets a different potential, it will shrink or expand depending on what's happening. So what we see here is a wave that you can see at the front, those white lines or lighter lines. And then as it drops away, energy is pulled from the wave. And so the wave spins in a double helix and ends up with pinch points which shut off the wave and create the particle. I'm also going to show that this is a wave boundary accumulation of energy, because we see the waves, but we see light. Those white, yellow lines are light. What does that even mean? Well, there's a shadow under the water. It can be seen. It's very, very simple. How does water create a shadow? Well, all the energy spins in and goes to the boundary. So all the energy you can see is in waves or, and I'm going to tell you, these are underwater tornadoes, these particles, which can be seen, hopefully, spinning under the water right there. See that? See?
And again, we see these circles around these shadows, which means the energy is at the boundary, because that's where the rotational energy is. All right, now we're going to look at, so that was, this one is energy funneled to the boundary, but that was another video about energy being funneled to the boundary. So let's see what we get here.
Okay, today we're looking at the sun, and this is from Suspicious Observers from today, the 26th of July 2015.
So I was doing all this in 2015, understanding that on the edge of the bubble, or the edge of the Ouroboros ring, is where the energy's going.
And Ben was showing some electromagnetic behavior on the sun, and solar tornadoes and filaments and so on. And this is just to show again that my prediction that energy is funneled to the boundary appears to be confirmed, because here we have two crossover points showing that there is a sphere underneath these crossover filaments.
Now, of course, it's not a sphere, it would be an Ouroboros halo wave. This was just back in 2015 when I didn't have the vocabulary to explain it.
Showing it to be a sphere underneath, which again shows that energy is being funneled, and the funnel is at the boundary.
So, back in 7 years ago, I was talking about energy is funneled to the boundary. Now we're going to have a look at Supernova 1987, which is an Ouroboros ring. And then I'm going to show you how it turns into an Ouroboros sphere, which is what's around the our solar system. Now, this is a pool of water with a stream going into it. You can see the vortex just at the top here. I pour in a dye. It is going to go into the center of the vortex beam, then it will be moved perpendicular, and you are going to see it flush out in a ring. This is how Supernova 1987, as you can see it right there, I'm about to reproduce it by adding matter to the matter stream, which is going to feed the Ouroboros ring. You see it flushing out here? There we go. It goes into the center and then it's flushed in the ring.
Today I'm going to be explaining the stellar Z-pinch with the help of the Thunderbolts project and the Supernova 1987A. Now, Supernova 1987A produced a halo that produced glowing orbs within the halo. And the Thunderbolts projects have shown there when you've got your impulsion V to your Ouroboros to your expulsion A, which is what I've been explaining, so my work runs kind of parallel with theirs for electrical science. So go look up the Thunderbolts project, because they will...
Now I could sit here and let you myself talk, but the whole point of the video is the ring around here that gets flushed white. The Ouroboros field, here it comes, and there, it flushed out. Same as 1987. Okay, so we've got a ring, and I've shown with water and dye how to create a matter-filled ring, which in space it becomes ignited. So now we're going to see how you would create a sphere.
Okay, today...
All right, so on screen is how a halo wave cloaks itself. I'll zoom in on that in a minute. But let's have a listen to what I say. It's 14 minutes long, so I'm probably going to skip.
I'm going to show and bring it all the way back to the atom. Today I'm going to show what is known as atom cloaking. Atom shell in the middle there, the black dot.
All right, so this is the beginning. You start off with a finger, turns into a tornado, separation by extra charge, becomes a halo wave.
Is the nucleus. So that's the arrangement of tornado, finger.
So I'll turn the sound off. But what you can see on here is the halo wave, and the arm direction is going to spin in a circle. Now this, on a magnet, happens on both sides of the magnet. So on either side of the magnet, of a magnet, you will get a torus ring on the edge, 2 of them, one on north side and one on south side. These then grab hold of each other like fingers because north and south attract each other. So there's no way a magnet can reciprocate north into the south hole and south into the north hole because they're attracted to each other. So they will scroll at the inertial line. And I've shown on a magnet video with ferrofluid that there is a ring, 2 rings, one on either side of a magnet. And this is how you get a sphere. There's 2 ways to get a sphere. Where are we? All right, let's see if we can find a next picture. So yeah, so we've got the halo wave on the left. Got 4 pictures there. It spins down. This is how a bubble is formed when you blow into one of those little bubble-making ring things, you know, like kids have. You go, and bubbles come out. That's how you create a sphere. It goes, hits the back of the bubble stuff, and then as it expands into a bubble, the Ouroboros ring spins round to your lips and spins and seals the bubble. So that's what I'm showing here. So the bubble around the Earth is either one full halo sphere from a Ouroboros ring, which then drops down and turns into a bubble, or there's one from either side. If it's a some kind of magnetic expulsion, there will be a double bubble with another ring around the inertial line of the solar system. Maybe this hasn't been detected yet. And if it hasn't, then it's just a massive expulsion from one side, which has atom cloaked and created a Ouroboros ring sphere. And so, if we go back to 1987, and we look at this picture here of the 1987 brightening, we see that it's lit. The stars are on the outside of the ring. So, when we atom cloak, everything that was on the ring has now been rolled out into a flat bubble. And so where, if it's not in the ring, where will the stars be? The stars will be on the skin. Thanks very much. Now this is where I just confirmed atom cloaking. And it happens like that. I'm talking here, but doesn't matter. The rest of it is all extra bits. I thought I was just going to have this. There, atom cloaking right there. Creates a sphere, which again is based on this work here, which is upside down, which is the atom cloaking of what happens when something is expulsed into something else. You will get atom cloaking, which is the bubble, the local bubble that we're in, which is why the sun is at the center, because it's a micronova bubble. And stars are on the outside because all energy is moved to the boundary. Thanks very much. My name is Lee, and there's another explanation that science can't produce. They don't know why new stars will be forming on the outside of the bubble. Well, as I've always said, energy is moved to the boundary because energy and matter are separate. Thanks very much. My name is Lee. I follow the Christ, and I've got a million videos to back up every single thing I have ever said. Thanks a lot. Bye.